Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Attorney-General in his capacity representing the Minister for Finance. Can the Attorney-General please update the House on how the Minns Labor government's third budget lays the foundation for our state's future economic growth?
I call the Attorney-General.
Well, thank you, Mr Speaker. I want to thank the member for her question. Mr Speaker, I am pleased to report that this budget continues the important repair work of building on the previous two budgets under the Minns government. Mr Speaker, having inherited, as we've heard today, and we'll keep repeating, a $15.3 billion budget deficit, the largest ever handed from one government to another. I heard someone over there saying rubbish, Mr Speaker. Not a piece of paper has ever been offered in this place or anywhere else to prove that claim.
The member for Dubbo will
I've said
come
this
to
a number
order.
of times. No one from the other side has managed to pull out any figures to contradict it, Mr Speaker. The biggest deficit ever handed from one government to the other. Mr Speaker, by the time those opposite left office, they'd run up $133 billion in debt, the largest debt ever handed from one government to another ever in the history of New South Wales. They spent recklessly at the worst of times. Inflation was stubbornly high, interest rates were biting, essential services needed urgent help after 12 years of neglect. Now, Mr Speaker, the Minns government is continuing to do its bit to fight inflation, fix the state's essential services and make better choices. But we can't fix a decade of failure and wrong priorities from the former government overnight. But we can continue the hard work of budget repair while delivering better essential services that people rely on, building the housing we need and investing to grow the economy. In other words, we're setting New South Wales up, Mr Speaker, for long-term prosperity. The government has a track record of 3 consecutive budgets that build a better New South Wales. Expenses growth have fallen dramatically from 6.2%, a whopping 6.2%, out of control expenses, Mr Speaker, down to a little over 2%. We've acted in response to the housing crisis by fast-tracking more homes for people to buy, more homes for people to rent, more homes for those who need a home because their current home is unsafe. Congratulations to Minister Washington. The progress we've made is underpinned by looking at our reduction in the state's gross debt. Under the watch of those opposite, the state's gross debt, Mr Speaker, was on track. It was out of control. They showed no inclination to bring it back, and it would have reached $188 billion by June 26. Gross debt is now projected to be almost over $9 billion lower under this government, even after absorbing the 2024 $11.9 billion hit to our GST receipts.
Member for Davidson, member for Hornsby, member for Wollongong.
To put that into per capita context...
Member for Davidson, you're on whatever, 2 calls.
Mr Speaker, to put that into context that ordinary citizens can understand, that's $400 million in interest payments avoided year on year that we can instead...
Attorney-General, member for Penrith.
Speaker, I seek an extension.
And an additional 2 minutes is granted.
And so, Mr Speaker, we're all waiting for the budget reply speech later on this week. And I know, Mr Speaker, that when you are in opposition, you don't have the resources that governments do, and it's difficult to formulate a speech like that. But we do have a roll gold, ready-to-go policy that we can gift now to the member for the Leader of the Opposition. And I know he won't be too proud to accept the gift, Mr Speaker, because he's already outsourced the entire Legislative Council strategy to Latham and Roberts. So why doesn't the Leader of the Opposition accept this gift and pass the government's reforms to workers' comp? I can tell Mr Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition, last night I had dinner with a group of business people, and they are not only filthy, they are filthy with the opposition for following Latham and Roberts down the rabbit hole and playing political footsies with them. And I've got to tell you, I was surprised at how they have been following in detail
Member for Terrigal,
what's been going on in the Legislative
calls.
Council to be respectful to them. They are not only filthy with the coalition, they are fearful. Because we discussed last night all the pressures that they are most fearful of, and out of tax increases, paying more in wages, international instability, workers' comp is their biggest concern, Mr Speaker, and that is what they told me last night. That is what New South Wales business is saying. Every day that this opposition plays footsies and gets into bed with Latham and Roberts. Why the hell you'd get into bed with those two, I don't know. They are as unreliable as anyone in the upper house, Mr. Speaker. But that's what the opposition's chosen to do. Reverse the path, Mark. Do something good on Thursday and deliver for the business people and citizens of New South Wales. Show some guts for once.